How's
All
it going,
right.
folks? Welcome to Copperhead Radio. Not the cool snake. No, the gene deficient guys who talk about things they like to talk about. That kind of Copperhead.
The melanin deficient people.
The melanin. You slap us, we turn pink. That's a sign of danger right there. As you see on the screen, they are releasing a new video game, which I'm kind of bummed at the title. Sparking Zero. Just call it Budokai Tenkaichi 4. That's that's what it is, apparently.
Yeah, they're really good for coming up with these names that don't make any sense. I think that's like Japanese that don't understand English, and it's kind of like when people come over here and they've got like tattoos or shirts or something that have kanji on it. And when you look
Yes.
it up, it's like dump or butthole or
I've made the comparison, like, you don't ever see anyone with like English words like water or
yeah,
dirt.
exactly.
There's always like some
And
like
but
live, laugh, love,
But
like,
I found out from
phrases.
from watching some Japanese tourism videos, they actually do have that issue there because they'll actually have like vending machines that have merch and stuff in it, and it's just like a black baseball cap, and in white letters it says "kill." It's like what?
What? Why? That makes no sense. Oh
Yeah.
god. But Sparking is apparently the name the game had in Japan or wherever it was released. Um,
Okay.
so I'm okay with that a little bit because they're trying to reclaim, because Budokai Tenkaichi, that was an American invention, that the that's how they wanted to title the game. But have you played the Budokai games?
I did. So I actually missed this announcement. So kind of give me a quick like rundown of what it looks like because I
So
didn't actually see it.
it's a lot of quick shots, so there's really not much you can tell. But from the website here, so it's Budokai Tenkaichi 4, just with a different title. It's breathtaking 3D fights. Engage in heart-pounding high-speed 3D battles that stay true to the anime and video game series with breaking visuals and authentic combat moves like beam clashes, rush attacks, movements too quick for the eye to see. That's how the trailer was. And raising ultimate attacks. So Budokai Tenkaichi, it was always kind of like Mortal Kombat. It was like that 2D view. But Budokai
Yeah.
Tenkaichi, they implemented the 3D aspect, kind of like what you see in Xenoverse now, or Kakarot, kind of like that. But with Kakarot, it's more like of an RPG. It's the fighting's okay, but my favorite ever favorite fighting style was the Budokai Tenkaichi series. It just got everything down perfect.
And that's what I was going to ask you if it was like the 2D style or if it was more like Tenkaichi. Because, yeah, I remember those. Was it Budokai 3 also like that?
Budokai 3 was like that. I think
Okay.
that's when they were trying to like shift from that. They wanted to differentiate themselves. And like, yeah, the 2D fighting is cool, but when you're thinking about Dragon Ball, you're not thinking about like just normal fighting. You want to fly around, you want to blow things up, and they haven't done that for many years. This is a breath of fresh air, of an old air that's been trapped in a closet, so it's a little dusty. But
Yeah.
it's nostalgia, man. It's saying right here, the ground will shake. Step into an arena that reacts to your every action. As you transform or unleash your devastating attacks, watch the environment respond with stunning realism. Leave a trail of destruction in your wake as you battle to your heart's content. I'm just really
So,
excited for that.
my,
Oh,
my first question off the bat. So, I don't know about you, but I'm kind of tired of going way back to the beginning and fighting Raditz and going through that entire story again. Are they introducing a different story or are we going back to that?
now, this is like, are you aware of the game? It's called Warriors Orochi.
I am not, no.
So it's like this mass mob fighting game. They release the same game every year. It's the same story, but just with different additives and stuff, and people just buy it. That's how Budokai Tenkaichi was for a while. It
Right.
never. It usually went up to a certain saga, but every game after that, it played the same type of story, but further on in the story. So I think at one point you could only get up to like the Cell saga for the longest time. Then it went to Boo. Then it did some GT stuff. I think this
Right.
game's going to be the same. I think it's going to bring you back to the beginning of the story, and I think from what I've read, it goes to the Tournament of Power as well.
Right. Because I mean, Xenoverse was like trying to do new stuff, but you were still playing the same, essentially the same story. They were just kind of adding some stuff here and there, making it a little different.
Yeah. Which I wish I didn't stop playing Xenoverse 2 because they've added so much to it. Um, the ability to turn Ultra Instinct, I think.
Yeah. Which the hell, I mean, I think it's like another $60 or something just to get all the DLC that released for it.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, they've released a lot. Like every time I go back to that store and look, man, it's just they got all kinds of stuff for that game.
It's. Yeah, it's a good cash cow. I mean, they did something smart by doing that. I would like to think they used that money to make this game.
Yeah.
Which, from the trailer, it has Super Broly in it, so it goes past the Tournament of Power. I'm hoping to see some sort of story mode, but they kind of like freshen it up a bit. Like they go with a different angle. I know Tenkaichi 3 did like what if stories.
Yeah.
Like Vegeta turning Super Saiyan 3. Like let us play the story, but like make changes so we're surprised throughout, you know. That's what I'm hoping.
Yeah, that's what
for.
I like, or what if stories. Let's go crazy with it. What if Goku didn't land on Earth? What if he did land on Earth, but he didn't land where he did, and he had a different upbringing? Kind of like they did with Superman with Red Sun. Instead of landing in Kansas, he landed in Russia during the communist era.
Right? Oh, that's such a good
Yeah,
story.
yeah. I mean, like let's shake it up a bit. Maybe Bardock wasn't on Vegeta when it blew up. Let's go crazy with it. I want to see some like weird what if scenarios.
I would like that too. Something with Bardock more because they've been teasing him a lot, especially in the last movies. They're teasing him again in the mangas with right after the Tournament of Power and the fight with Broly. They're teasing him a lot, like in flashbacks. So I'm really hoping they start using him more. Bardock is one of my favorite characters, more than Goku, I think. So I hope he's in there. Apparently, the roster is going to be stacked, like at least over 180, from what I'm reading.
Man.
And what I really liked about those games, it just once you beat it, it never got boring because then you had all your unlocked characters and you can make people verse whoever, and just even in those games there was surrounding destruction. You could destroy trees and mountains and stuff. I think with the PS5 engine they'll be able to do more than that. I'm hoping like not being confined to just like one level, like it's a whole world. That's your fight, where you can pretty much go anywhere on the planet and fight, and it's not limited to just one place.
Like the ground breaks up and you can go to like underwater streams and stuff, or underground streams and all that. And yeah, that'd be really cool.
I'd love that because it's saying up here that it's gonna emulate the anime, which I don't know. Have you played the Naruto games? The Ultimate Ninja Storm?
No.
Ultimate Ninja Storm, when I first played it, it looks dated now, but when I first played it, it looked exactly like the cartoon. And they just did a re-release of all the games that they ever made on PlayStation 5, and it looks damn near like the cartoon itself. Like very high quality. Yeah, when you get the chance, you should watch the trailer. It looks... it's not like Dragon Ball FighterZ animation. It's still 3D, but a more obvious 3D rather. But it looks really extensive, like with how much they're putting in.
I know that they're looking at adding more content to fighters as well.
I'm hoping so.
They put the rollback. Yeah, they put the rollback netcode on it, and then after that, I think they've got plans for more updates.
I'm hoping so. I'm getting not bored with it. I'm really getting. Well, one, I sucked for the longest time. I was like on like 50% difficulty and was getting mollywopped by Krillin. Like
Yeah.
I couldn't do anything. I'm like, so I was like, okay, don't be a stubborn dude. Read the instructions. See what
Yeah.
buttons do what. Don't go in there just thinking that, oh, I'm going to pick this up. I know Dragon Ball. It was completely different than any Dragon Ball game I've played. But
Yeah,
I'm
it
getting
took
the
me a
hang of it
minute to
now.
learn like all the air combos and stuff. That's where like a lot of the damage output was. It took me a little while to learn that, but I haven't played it in years.
I can't do the juggling. I'm more of a like, okay, run away, charge up, blast them. Run away, charge up, blast them. Push them away, run them back, charge up, blast them. I'm a spammer.
So like Vegeta really depended on the key attacks.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I'm a spammer. I'm a piece of shit. Um, I think since I'm not a piece of shit in any other realm of my life, that I can be a piece of shit in video games. But that's
Yeah,
a lie too.
that's yeah. You have to allow yourself some time to be an ass. You just have to figure out what level to do that on.
I actually can't even bring myself to like make bad decisions. Like recently with Baldur's Gate 3, there's things that I could do. I'm like, oh, there's no moral. Like, you're fine. It's a video game. And I'm like, no, but it's a squirrel and it needs my help. I
Exactly.
don't want to kick the squirrel. And Red Dead Redemption
Erica,
2, I did the honor system and
yeah.
I couldn't do
I've
it.
I've I've been completely unable to do a low honor Arthur playthrough. I can't do it. I've not been able to do it.
He's not
But
meant
no,
to
my
be a
wife,
monster.
she kicked the squirrel on her playthrough because she didn't know that she thought it was going to be like a little nudge or whatever. No,
Why would you
you
kick the
kicked the
squirrel
shit
in
out
the
of the
first
squirrel.
place?
I don't remember. I think she failed like a check, so like she didn't get the other option,
Oh no.
and she clicked on it. And I mean, yeah, I mean you punt the squirrel at a tree and kill it.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's terrible. The game gaslit
I still
her into kicking the squirrel.
yeah, gaslighting. She should go on TikTok and talk about it.
Baldur's Gate 3 is very sexist because you can pick what type of vulva you want and you can kick a squirrel. And it's mean.
Exactly.
That
Oh
game was
man.
I was like, "Oh, okay. We're going that extreme with it." Gotcha. Still not
Yeah,
done. Still not done with that
I'm
game.
not either. I'm still not done with it. The last I was on Act Three, the beginning of it, before I quit that last playthrough. I'm having I struggle concentrating on stuff. I mean, I need to get it diagnosed, but I'm pretty sure I've got ADHD. We know my wife has it, but yeah, I haven't finished it.
I'm a homie hopper when it comes to video games. Like I was playing Ratchet and Clank for the last I want to say 2 or 3 hours. And right before I did this, I hopped onto Power Washer Simulator.
There you go.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good segue. That's a good jumping off point. I'm like, done killing aliens. Let's watch somebody's backyard. Let's clean up some toys.
There we go.
Let me see. Oh, there looks like there's a trailer here. Let's look at that. Let me get back to my technical difficulties. Should not be wearing these glasses right now. There we go. Liar. It didn't do it. There we go.
Discord's a trip.
Peggy
Yeah.
12.
Peggy. Wants me to go full screen. You know what? We're not going to do that, especially for copyright reasons. So
Oh yeah.
it kind of just saved our butts there. We'll just stop streaming there. Boom. There we go. Perfect. Just the two of us.
I need to send you that video. Did I send you a video of this woman? She was like giving a tutorial on how to use this program. Did I send you anything like that?
On TikTok or?
No, it was well, it would have had to have been TikTok, I think. No, because it was a YouTube video. I would have sent it to you on texting. If I didn't, I need to do that because there's like a really cool program that we should check out so we can do more of these shows.
Let me see here. No, I don't think you've sent it.
I need to do that whenever we get off here. Remind me before we go.
Yeah, just where you buried the body. That's all I have in here.
Okay, don't tell nobody.
I wish. No. No, but I'm back to sparking. Um I hate when they this is my one main complaint.
Right. Just to catch stuff, yeah. It's like all the people younger than us, man. They got those small attention spans, so they have to do stuff like that. And they gotta make these trailers like super twitchy. They have a release date? Did they say have a release date on it at all? Well, I mean, they could have pulled they could have pulled a rock star on us and then give us that Grand Theft Auto 6 trailer, and it's not even coming out for 2 years. You know? Yeah. They got their priorities straight, so it could be like Bethesda, man. The last Elder Scrolls game was 12 years ago. Yeah. Yeah. That's something to think about. Right. But man, these Dragon Ball games, they're handled by Bandai Namco, and they do a really good job too. I love all their games. Like they rarely ever have a miss. You know. Yeah, it's another one I missed. I didn't play it. I dodged it, is what you're saying. Right. There's a limit. Which game was it? Which Dragon Ball game was it where they used the chibi art style and you could fuse with anybody? Like all the characters could fuse. I think it was called Dragon Ball Fusion or something. And it came out for one of the handhelds. because everybody was uploading their fusions. Say, oh, I fused this person with this person. Look what I got. And yeah, it was for a handheld, so it was really really boiled down to the basics when it came to how it looked. Yeah, yeah, it was an official release. They obviously, just like everything else, they released it in Japan first, and then about a year later we got it. Yeah. And speaking about video games, yeah, well, I think it was Nintendo DS. It would have had to been, I think. Yeah, it wasn't old. I mean, I can't say new either. Man, time is flying by, so like I lose track of time. But it's not old. It's only been out for a little while. But just no, look. Speaking of video games and Dragon Ball, we also got that Black Myth Wukong coming out. That's that old Journey to the West story that Goku's based off of. Yep, it does. Yeah, Souls games. Yeah, yeah. You just beat the shit out of people with your pole. Which one? I think I think Black Myth Wukong is Chinese. Yeah, I think it is. I'm pretty sure. I could have that wrong. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I did, and I think I did one of my. I call them reviewception. That's where I watch somebody else's review of a game, and I react to it, and I give my own opinion. Um, some guy, I can't remember who his name was, but I think he's from Australia. I watched his video and reacted to it, and yeah, I had a lot of the same problems with it he did. I give it a 5 out of 10. Um, I think somebody that I follow on YouTube, Asmongold, he gave the best praise for it. It's aggressively mediocre, and that's like the perfect description for it. Yeah, Bethesda. It's the Elder Scrolls Fallout. Exactly. Yeah. Oh man. I'm thinking of it. I just played that game recently too. Santa Monica. Yeah. Well, What you got is you've got some people in the industry, some developers that are they're about quality first. See, and I talk about this on my channel too. What we started doing now is we're trying to pull the cart before the horse. They're trying to make their money before they make their product instead of focusing on a quality product, knowing it'll make money, right? But you have some developers in the industry that are still trying to do that, and they're basically going from studio to studio because they'll make something good. Corporate comes in, the publisher, they want to make all these changes. We want to focus on live service. We want to focus on monetization. We want to focus on these things. Exactly. And then they get pushed out of the studio. They're like, I don't want to work here anymore. They go somewhere else. They make something great there, and it's just a cycle. Right. Right. Yeah. Which I'll have to play that game from the beginning again before I get to the DLC because man, if I tried to pick it up now, I'd be a mess. But yeah, you're in for a really good story because I'd say it's reminiscent of the type of story that Red Dead 2 had. The Ragnarok towards the end of it, it'll start kind of tugging on you a little bit. Yeah, yeah, love that movie. I did, and well, I didn't watch them, but I looked at the results, and I watched like a couple of trailers. But if people had any inclination at all, I said this in my video about it. I said, if you thought for even a second that Baldur's Gate 3 wasn't going to walk away with that, you were out of your mind. Spider-Man 2 fans have completely lost their mind on TikTok. I can't go on TikTok now without seeing 5 or 6 videos about them being pissed about it. Right. Yeah. No, and when you go to play it again, make a new character or you use one of the origin characters, you're going to have a different experience. Like it just every time you touch it, it's different. And this was the game, of course it won Game of the Year. It was the game that when it released, AAA development studios were all in an uproar saying that, well, it's raising the standards too high. You all can't expect a game like this to come out. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And Almost every category that they were nominated for, they pulled away with. And we'll get to some more controversies here in a minute, but we talked about Starfield a second ago. I was actually, this sounds really bad because I sound like I'm just a hater. I'm actually very glad that it didn't win a single category because that studio, Bethesda and Todd Howard, all them guys, they need a wake up call. And if Baldur's Gate 3 is the game to do that to these development studios, it's like, hey guys, when you focus on a quality product, knowing it'll make money because you know you've made something quality, go back to that mentality and stop trying to pull the cart before the horse. You know, and I was glad to see it didn't win anything because they need a wake up call. Now the controversies were how many trailers there were, how many guest celebrities there were, the amount of musical numbers they had, and they were also like doing the wrap it up thing to people speaking. And yeah, yeah, like they interrupted the guys from Larian who made Baldur's Gate, and so I guess we have to wrap it up. They were like in the middle talking about the developers that were with them that passed during production, and they got the wrap it up screen. Yeah, is it the first video game that I have ever gotten refunded from Steam? Cyberpunk 2077. Yeah. I even waited. I even waited for Phantom Liberty before I bought it, and still, like, it's a walking, talking simulator. You spend most of your time in what they call the auto scroll, where you still have to control your character, but you're in a cutscene. That's I swear to God, I was an hour and a half doing that in the beginning. I'm like, okay, I'm done. Like this sucks. And right. Yeah, I'm a man. Yeah, just remember to turn on your nude filter before you go streaming. Well, actually, here's the thing. Actually, yeah, they say oh well, you gotta make sure you have that filter on or whatever. But I actually found this out. So both YouTube and Twitch, both they have a policy. They'll let that stuff go as long as it's not the focus of the game. So if it's like a simulator where that's all it is, yeah, you can't stream that. But a game like Baldur's Gate 3 or Cyberpunk or whatever where it has scenes, you can actually get away with having nudity on your channel. A lot of a lot of streamers don't know that. As long as you have an age gate, which I recommend everybody doing anyway. You should gate your content to adults. Just how I feel. But yeah, you can get away with that. I didn't know, as long as it's not the focus of the game. Yeah. Which that goes back to my old argument of, I mean, parents need to get back to parenting and quit trying to let the internet raise their kids. You need to actually engage with your children. That's my fault. Sorry. You're cut out now.
Can you hear me now?
I can now.
Hell
Good.
yeah. Hell yeah. I hit my mic again, but we got to figure it out. What was I saying before I erased my memory?
You were talking about how we jumped from topic to topic. We were talking about kids and parenting and age gates and stuff.
This is why I have you, man. See, you don't have memory loss yet. I have it tremendously. Kids do have unfettered access to the internet, and it's actually really scary.
Yes.
It's like in my day, when I was a youngster, I had to be very sneaky. I had to be like Tom Cruise, like dun 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 titty, da-da!
Exactly.
And then 1 second, and then get out of there. Now kids have phones. I have a daughter. She ain't getting a phone.
No.
I don't care if they label it child abuse legally. She ain't getting a phone. Never.
Yeah.
And if she is, she's going to get one of those jitterbugs that old people get. It's those a little jitterbug. Yeah, you're going to call me, and that's it.
And set it up like it's a bat phone. It goes out to one number, and only one number can call it. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it's going to happen. Like, it's the ones that, it's the parents that don't really care. They're just like, oh, let me watch Game of Thrones. And then their kids just go off to do whatever. I really think all companies that allow you to have an online profile, some people may disagree, but I think you should have a valid ID. It doesn't get sold anywhere. It's encrypted. It's in a blockchain. No one can access it, through VPN or whatever. You should really have an ID. Because if you can access, if that website allows nudity, you should you can't go into a strip club without an ID. You can't go into a bar without an ID. Why can you do that on the internet? That doesn't make any sense.
And the internet is always going to be worse than anything you could find in real life, unless you're in some really dark places, right? And we've talked about that before. And I even have the extreme view of the age needs to be brought up to 25, and people hate me when I say that. But
it really should,
we live in a neighborhood out here with a ton of kids, and we see them walk by the house all the time, or we get stuck behind the bus because now the bus has to stop at every single freaking house now. They can't just let them out. See, they used to let us out the top of the neighborhood, and your ass walked home.
Right.
Yeah, right. Yeah, and you had your key in your pocket because you were going to be walking into an empty house. Parents weren't home yet. But anyway, moving on. Watching these kids get out of the bus, taking their time, and they have to walk in front of the bus too because, they live on this side, and there's no reason for, that little kid to be, there's nothing on there for him at all, period. I don't care who you are.
How old was he?
It amazes me. Dude, I'm seeing people, they sell tablets for toddlers.
See,
that they're made for toddlers.
That's true now. Don't bite my head off. I know you're going to agree with me. We do have a tablet, right? But it's almost a brick. It's almost like a piece of paper. Because the only thing that she can do on it is play her muffin making game, pizza making game, and her Disney Plus. And that's it. Disney Plus Kids. That's the only thing we allow her to have. And that is, I think it's okay, but we limit how much time. Like, she ain't going to be sitting on it for like 5 hours. That ain't happening. Like, you can watch a show when you're eating your food or whatever, but once you're done, go outside.
See, there's a difference between that and handing them a device that can access anything. And some of these, tablets that are made for toddlers can still access all this stuff. And then you got websites like YouTube that don't properly monitor their YouTube Kids section, and people can upload whatever. I told you about the cow story, didn't I?
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude beheads a cow right there on the video for kids.
Like that scene from Napoleon Dynamite where he shoots that cow in the face. Ah! Milky! They killed Milky! Yeah, that's where steak's coming from. Hamburger helper. There was one where it was Spider-Man getting Elsa pregnant.
Oh, yeah, you told me about that, yeah.
Why?
Yep. Exactly.
And it's from Sweden. The only thing Sweden's ever done right was the fish. And it's not even their real fish, the candy fish. I don't even think that's from them either. I think that's an American thing too.
All I know is, man, is the kids, they got too much access to all this stuff. And, people get mad when I say that. And they're like, well, we need a break and we need this. You shouldn't have kids.
A break is nice, but it's not realistic,
Right.
They depend on you. And it's easy just to set them in front of something. And it's that, I don't know if you saw that TikTok that I made, but it was that woman was like, I'm ready to be a dad now. It's so much easier. I'm like, all right, well, you might want to think about that because it's much harder getting up early in the morning, going to work, instead of putting something on Netflix for your kid to watch while you scroll through Instagram. That's way more difficult.
I remember that. Yeah, because you were getting, again, inundated with, I remember.
Yeah.
It seems like everything you post now, you get attacked. I'm about to jump on the bandwagon. I'm going to be one of them guys on there like, you idiot, you asshole.
Please. That would bring so much more engagement. I think I'm locked out. I'm shadow banned on TikTok, I know. It's like I never go above 300. Never. And I have 20,000 followers, and I don't go above 300.
And all the little tips and tricks that people come up with, and that's why I made that one video about content creation. Don't listen to people telling you how to do your content, right? Mm-hmm. Because the thing with TikTok is, because it's a short form video, all people are doing is they're just scrolling, and they happen across your video. All the SEO, the search engine optimized content and all that, that's not going to work for TikTok because people aren't going to Chrome or Safari and Googling, I want to look at this type of content and then showing your video. They're going on the app and they're just,
Just going. Dirty hands all over their screen.
Yeah.
See, that's, I as soon as I get 10,000, I originally said 20,000. But once I get to 10,000 subscribers on YouTube, TikTok is a flash in the pan. Goodbye. Yeah. We'll never be on that app again. It's a necessary evil.
It takes time to build that audience too. It's one thing. It'll take, like, you'll get some trickle in or whatever, but like TikTok, I have a love-hate relationship with it. On one hand, all the things that we complain about are valid, and it is a very toxic app. But on the other hand, I have almost 11,000 followers on there. I've never had that many people, which most are bots probably, or Exactly, but yeah.
Accounts that don't exist anymore, that's probably 10,000 of mine. Alone.
And a lot of people left because of the shop. They got tired of seeing ads all day.
Oh, I just want to exit the app. I swipe left just to exit the app. And if it's on a Starbucks commercial, it takes me to a Starbucks website. I'm like, hey,
Yeah.
I didn't click on that dumb son of a bitch. I swiped back. That means I don't want to see it. It's just that forced advertisement. Like it's making them money, so smart for them. But it's just like, and in reality, is it that much of a hassle to swipe twice? Yes, it is. It may not be for anybody else, but yes, it is. If I want to leave an
It's
app,
annoying.
let me leave. Don't hold me captive. I'm gonna scream rape. Next time that happens and I'm in public, I'm gonna go ah! As just to let them know. I'll make it a problem.
Yeah, I mean, and a bunch of our mutuals, they tell me we should come to Instagram. Well, two things with that. Number one, that's exactly what's wrong with Instagram. That's why everybody left it. It turned into a bunch of ads.
Mm-hmm.
And secondly, Instagram is not private enough.
Oh no,
You can't. It's not. People know what you look at. They know who you follow. They know what you have saved on your page. And I didn't like that because I
no.
do. My eyes do tend to wander. Okay, I'm not gonna lie to you about that.
I look at baby
And I
otters
don't
too.
need. Well,
Well,
all right. So
I like looking at bears.
yeah, it's bears.
It's barely.
It's barely clothed.
It's barely bears.
Yeah, but I mean, it's like I don't need my grandparents knowing that I look at this stuff, and it's just all open and out there, and I didn't like that, so I got rid of it. It's just not private enough.
See, I worked my ass off because I like Instagram. I like looking at my family's pictures and keeping up with friends having babies that I'm not having yet. But I need to take these glasses off. I can't see anything. I can see us because we're red naturally. But I took so much time and effort to create this. That's my For You page. It's nothing but animals. I took pride in that. I was like, I'm going to get all these thoughts off my phone. And it's just going to be babies. The occasional emo with rainbow hair shows up. But
yeah.
That's I don't know, man. I'm hoping that another type of social media comes out that it's like from the ground up. Something with a fresh start, because I feel like TikTok, it got tainted really, really quick. Like it went from lip syncing and dancing to like political commentary. Yeah, that's good for 1 minute. You can get all the subtext and the nuance in 1 minute. Absolutely. And then you had dating advice, which me and you delve into. And that's good. I think there's some good aspects to it, but it just kind of got I hope a new app comes out where it's just like people who just want to share their opinions. Like make that the goal so people know what they're getting into. Because then you have this kid like doing the Dougie and showing you how to, whip the nay-nay, and then now he's giving politic advice.
Yeah.
That doesn't seem right to me.
Yeah, and there's been different sites and apps that have come out and tried, but I mean they always end up flopping because they either release with barely any features and you already got people spoiled to features, or they don't monitor what goes on their site. What was that one that's like TikTok? I ended up deleting it. I had an account on there,
Clapper?
but it was that it's a softcore porn site.
Now, and if I hear anyone saying they have a Clapper account, I'm like, you have chlamydia.
You have the clap. Yeah.
You have the clap. You have the clapper. When'd you get the clapper? 64 shore leave. That's when I got the clapper.
Yeah.
No, that's one that you need to. Not trying to throw any shade. Not going to mention any names. There were so many friends that I had on there, and we had panels, like our version of panels on TikTok Live. talking about how like we would make fun of people like, hey, they started on here, they got some attention, someone told them they were beautiful, and now it's $5.99 on OnlyFans. I've seen a lot of people across the board go to that website. Almost like all the big political commentators, they have an OnlyFans. Hey, you're talking about Congress and shit. We don't need to see your butt.
Yeah.
Right? We don't need that. That's not something that we need.
And are these the same people that we kind of...
Yeah,
we were around a lot?
Yeah.
I wondered about that because the content on TikTok started to get a little spicy.
Yeah, I stopped following a lot of people, man.
Yeah.
I was like, maybe I should talk to them, but at the same time, I'm not their dad. That's not my job.
Exactly.
That's not my job. So I was like, oh, well, have fun with that. Have fun with
For me, that wasn't even why I unfollowed them. The reason why I unfollowed a lot of them is because every time that I would come across one of their videos, it's the same subject every time. It's a clapback. Oh, I'm getting just people.
Hey,
nobody cares.
You're 30. Stop lip syncing to Chingy and shit. Calling out some woman for calling you a bitch.
Exactly.
It's. What happened to fist fights? What happened to broken bones? Let's go back to I guarantee you, that's the comfortability of being online, dude. We talked about this before. It's like people are so quick to say, yeah, well, you sell crack rock on the corner. You wouldn't say that to somebody's face. They might hit you.
Exactly.
It's that agreement of physical violence that may happen if you step over a line. But they're like, okay, phone, they're about 30,000 miles away from me, so let me call them a bitch.
The Drew McIntyre Claymore kick for yeah.
The Scottish kiss?
Yeah.
Headbutt right to the kisser.
Exactly. They say no one wins with a headbutt. Well, it depends on where you butt them.
Well, I mean, I feel partially to blame because I facilitated. I was like the moderator, but I was like, no, I was Jerry Springer. I was Jerry Ginger.
The ones that I had an opportunity to see you all on, because now this was back when I was still new on TikTok. You and I knew each other.
Yeah.
But I don't think we had our first show yet. But you were up late because I was up late. Now, my wife goes to bed kind of early. She always has. She's not a night owl like me. Now you saw when I sent you that text about doing this at this time.
Yeah.
I was still up.
Yes, you are.
So, which is not good. But so I wouldn't be able to join because then I would wake her up.
Right.
And that's actually why me and I forget her name. Friends with the manicured mom. Name starts with an M. Michelle. Had a falling out with her because I couldn't join the live and defend myself, and her and a bunch of her friends were like dogpiling on me. And I was like, okay, I'm done. But anyway,
yeah,
I didn't really feel like you were agging it on, which you got accused of. You got accused of being someone who's instigating and making it worse. And I'm like, is he really? Because in all these lives, you guys don't stop. You keep going and going, and all he's trying to do is moderate. The only time you and I never had this conversation, I meant to have it with you. I feel like almost 2 years ago. The only falling out that you had with somebody that I didn't 100% agree with was there was a guy on there. He is gay, and he well,
there's a legitimate reason. I'm so joking. That is a joke. It's not because he's gay. It's not because he's gay. That was a joke. I swear to God. It was okay. I don't even remember.
Cut off from Discord. Everything shuts down. Yeah, just your laptop just shuts off, or computer shuts off. Your lights turn off. Yeah.
Even God sends me to hell. Dude, you broke terms of service.
He said he hates figs. No, but he made a comment about what was that one? She was Muslim. She was always making content like that. They were constantly on her all the time.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
Some video. Yeah, and he called her towelhead. Now,
Yeah.
you were saying it was racist, but it's a religion thing. It's not really a,
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
that was around the time where I was getting threats of doxing every day,
Yeah,
every day, and I was like, I got to put my foot down on this, mainly because like I did feel it at the time. I didn't say it because I didn't feel like it. It was true. It was just one of those like, oh, like we're already in a very hot, scorching pan, and we're about to be sizzled off into the actual fire. And
yeah,
I was kind of like, okay. I actually kind of walked away from all of them after that. I
yeah.
was slowly like, you guys are gonna like ruin my fucking life, and because you guys get drunk and you go on TikTok live. That is that is a recipe for disaster. You never go on social media when you're inebriated. Ever. It is the dumbest idea. Drinking, smoking, popping, whatever they were doing, it was like you're letting your intoxicated thoughts create your narrative for you. And that's just not who I was. Like I was drinking heavily at the time, but never saw me on TikTok.
Yeah.
Never like,
And then
hey, you guys know about those? Is
well, and I know that I tried for the longest time, try to get them to, hey, let's call us, just ignore these people, block them, let's go back to what we're doing,
yeah,
because a lot of them I met through the whole gender or BS, and we all had a lot of the same takes,
yeah.
and that's how I met these people. But I mean, I'd go on their lives, and I'm like, what is this?
It was
Like, what are
like
y'all doing?
I remember you made a video and saying, "Are you guys telling me that you guys are like an Avengers style group that calls
Yeah,
out like toxic behavior?" I'm like, "Yeah, like that's what we." The whole group was toxic. The whole fucking thing. The whole thing was terrible. Like not the whole thing. There was good people in there, but yeah, it's just like what is the power corrupts absolute power corrupts absolutely,
exactly.
right?
Power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. Yeah.
And I think a lot of people's mistakes is they think like the people that they criticized, they ended up doing the same things that they were criticizing them for. And it was just this like, oh, you just want to be right. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. You just want to be correct. Being told that you're wrong is like a hit to your social credit score on TikTok. And if you admit that you're wrong, holy shit, your career is over, or hey, like you proved everything right about what they accused you of and all this stuff. I'm like, no. I remember I can actually talk about this. I love that we're talking about this because I never talked about it. I made a video on TikTok. I think you know which one I'm talking about. I made a video saying that the government should euthanize psychopaths. Do you remember that one?
It sounds familiar. I'd have to go back, or is it pulled? It's
I
probably
pulled it.
blocked
I
or
took
banned.
it off the minute I uploaded it. But it was long enough for somebody to see it and respond. So it was this transsexual woman saying that she wanted to get ovaries implanted so they could have an abortion. And I was like, that's just on purpose trying to be like ugly. Like to be malicious. That's a malicious act. It's not
Yes.
physically possible, but to even say that, even in a hypothetical, I thought it was terrible. And I was like, when is the government going to euthanize sociopaths? We're having psychotic people. We're giving them access to phones and allowing them to speak this stuff. And there's people who might even take it to heart and believe it. And I was like, you know what? Maybe shouldn't have had the euthanasia part. I deleted it. I was going to redo it. And this guy was like, hey, Justin. I was like, oh, the LGBT is going to kill me, dude. They're about to cisgender me. They're gonna make cisicide a thing. They're gonna cisicide me. And was just calling all this stuff out. And they weren't mean. They were like, hey, you kind of said something crazy. I'm like, yeah, I did. And I made videos apologizing for it. I was like, hey, really, no excuses. I was wrong. I'm not going to say what made me say that or anything like that because it really doesn't matter at the end of the day. I said something dumb out of anger, and I truly don't believe that. It was just a flare-up in my psyche, seeing this constant barrage of psychotic shit every single day, and I just had enough. Talked to that creator. Everything cooled out. They were actually going to delete their video about me. I said, no, keep it up. I fucking said it. Might as well own it, you know? And I always, through that group, always held that same standard. I was like, hey, if you're wrong, you might need to say you're wrong. No, but if I say that I'm wrong, they'll say everything else about me is true. I'm like, not necessarily. And if it's not true, then why should you care if they believe it is? You know,
that was always my thing. Like, why do you care so much? And that's why, you know, I used to be the guy, I didn't want to block anybody because I didn't believe in it. But I've learned that at the end of the day, there's going to be people you'll never be able to convince otherwise, even if you're right. Mm-hmm. And if you got people that are bugging the hell out of you, block them. And so many of our mutuals have had their main accounts banned, alternate accounts banned, had to restart, had to buy followers to gain traction.
Yep.
Over and over and over again because they won't block people.
Not even that. They don't play by the rules. And I don't agree with the rules, right? But say that you're in a cage match with somebody that you disagree with. You can't just stab them, right? You can't just use a knife in the cage. You have to abide by the rules of the sanctioned match. And on TikTok, I've started to do that. I've started following more terms of service. I say what's on my mind, but I'm a lot more tactful with my fucking words. I'm not as outlandish as I used to be. And that main account has not been banned once. I've had my second backup accounts banned, but I have never had my main account banned. Ever.
That's what I'm saying, man. You and I think, are like two of the only ones that I know of that still have our original accounts.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, and for me, at least the way I've managed to keep it is by enacting that policy of, you know, if it gets to be to the point where it's ridiculous, I block this person. Yep. Or if I see that it's going to happen, I go ahead and preemptively block them.
That's the way it needs to be. I don't know if you saw the video that I did. Hold on. I love our show, by the way, CopperHeadRadio. That's what it's going to be called. I love how we went from talking about Dragon Ball Z and like what cool features, and now we're talking about real life shit. This is my favorite show.
There you go.
You soothe my OCD but ADHD brain.
I soothe it by enabling it. What are you talking about?
In the best way possible.
Yeah.
In the best way possible. This facilitates me, dude. I'm so happy. And every time I do that, I forget what I'm going to say. I'm like a squirrel. If I don't focus on that nut and I try to chase after another nut, I forget that other nut's there.
You need to be punted into a tree.
I do. Just get your wife to come punt me into a tree.
Yeah.
That squirrel murdering psychopath.
He's like, oh shit.
Oh, now I remember. I made a video talking about Tizzy. Because now he's getting... Do you remember Tizzy?
I have seen videos of him. I believe he's one of the guys that I have preemptively blocked, like Drew a follow.
Yeah. I've had interactions with Drew. It never turned out ugly. They never made a big video about me. I think they responded like in the comments one time. But with Tizzy sent targeted harassment to a 10-year-old girl. And this was way before he started doing his social justice warrior shit. And a lot of people called him out for it. And I was like, it's nice to see that these types of people who target others finally get some comeuppance. But at the same time, like, they're missing the mark. You're never going to change someone's mind if you have like this cold indifference to someone. If you go to somebody with warmth, if you don't treat them, if you like go, hey, motherfucker, they're going to recoil and be like, all right, let me get in my bob and weave stance. But if you come at somebody with like, hey, let me talk to you real quick, just something really warm, like, hey, I got some candy, come in my van real quick. No, not creepiness, but warmth. You can change a lot of people's minds, and that's where I'm trying to go. Like, yeah, I'm an asshole, and I'm what's the word I'm looking for? Not condescending, but just not the best I could be.
You're confident in your points, and a lot of people don't like when you say things confidently. That you
Yeah.
know what you're talking about. They don't want you making what's now I'm losing a word here. We're good
Cocky.
for that, aren't we? They want you to make statements that leave it open for any kind of debate. So,
Mm-hmm.
like, they don't want to feel like they're being spoken down to at all. It's not that you're speaking down to them. They just can't understand that there's other takes and that some people might be more knowledgeable on an issue.
Right.
And that's what you and I run into that all the time on this gender crap.
Oh, for sure. It's
Yeah.
I know I stated a biological fact that the woman's role in the giving birth process is that she's the one that carries the child. And this guy said, you are just limiting women to their ability to give birth. I'm like, no, I'm saying that's the part that they play when they want to have a child. They're the ones that carry the baby. They're like, that's not a woman's role. I'm like, it is, though. It's not like her only sole purpose to live, but I'm saying it's a role that she plays if she wants children. And this dude was just constantly, he was one of those big LGBT guys. And I was like, dude, I'm just going to block you. I followed your advice. I was like, I'm not going to engage with these people if they are constantly on a consistent basis taking what I'm saying out of context and not listening to what I'm saying. Because I'm not the most smartest guy. Even smartest is not even a word. I'm not the most intelligentest. But I know what I'm fucking saying, and I say it clear enough for people to understand.
It's like Luann from King of the Hill. I challenge you with my intellectual.
Let me give my
No.
intellectual to you.
Yeah. No, I have stitched and green screen people and then immediately block them when I upload the video. To make sure everything uploaded right, I'll go block them.
Yeah.
And because I'm not interested in a response. Like, I don't care what you have to say. I know it's going to be bad.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been called a bitch for that. But I'm like, hey,
Oh.
guess who still got his original account? You know?
Well, it's not bitch. It's knowing what's going to happen. You know, exactly. If you say something that person's going to get mad, they're going to report your video. That video is going to be reported as a strike. You get 3 strikes, your account's gone.
Exactly. I've blocked people who didn't even really do anything wrong to me, but their followers do because their followers don't understand nuance. I had a guy, he's like one of these dad motivational guys. Like, he tries to make content for men and dads, specifically dads, but for men in general. And he stitched one of my videos, and all of his followers took what I said the wrong way. They tried to make it about cheating when that's not what the video was about. I wasn't telling men to go cheat. That's what they thought I said. And they were just brigading my page. So I ended up having to block the guy. It's like, hey, I'm sorry, but...
Was he against you, or was he, like, agreeing with you?
No. He was answering a question. It was a video. I said the words, because it was about the fact that, men feel like they have to go outside their marriage. That's where people thought I said cheating. I wasn't saying have an affair. It said go outside their marriage to seek support or seek therapy or seek, they have to do that, while women expect men in the relationship to be their therapist.
Mm-hmm.
But men can't do that, because if you do that, you're showing emotions. They lose respect for you. They dump you, right?
Right.
That's like the narrative. Well, I asked a simple question. Why do men have to go outside the marriage to fulfill that? Why can't they work together as partners and sort their issues?
Right.
My wife and I do what friends and their girlfriends and, whatever do. Why can't other people do that? And he stitched it and he answered the question in his own way. I didn't agree with him, but everybody in his page took it as I was saying that they have to leave and cheat. When did I ever say that?
People will take words and be like, oh, let me twist it into knots and make it a different word completely. I understood what you meant when you said it.
Yeah, and you've been in this situation. I know you have, where now you're trying to make videos or say like, hey, this is actually who I am, and here's what I really said.
Yeah.
They don't get any views.
None.
They don't. Yeah, and it's just the constant brigading. It's like, hey man, I got to block you because I have to break this stitch where they can't get back to my video.
Not only that, it's I've I haven't been doing a lot of the response content in a while, but my plan is to just like put a sticker over these people's faces. Maybe even change their voice, cover up their name, not even react to the person, just the idea. I think we attach ideas to people and we want to defeat the person because they have a smug face and they're annoying. And then we go after that. I'm not saying me and you do, just in general, but they go after the person, not the idea. So that's my future plan to kind of avoid any sort of reporting or possible banning is just block these people's faces or just have the audio of what they said.
Yeah.
Or if it's one of those videos with just words on them, I'll just transcript the words and put it on a picture and say, hey, let's talk about this. Don't give them any attention for that shitty take. Just look at the shitty take for what it is and then talk about it. I think that's a better way to go down the road, honestly.
Yeah, and it'll be a lot, because that's what a whole lot of it is the people just take it as personal attacks, and their followers take it as a personal attack, and I've talked before on one of these shows, like a lot of the issue is people put too much stock in these people that they follow online, and they make everything personal and about them, and it's not.
Doesn't have to be either.
Yeah.
I've had plenty of conversations with people where we didn't agree, but we didn't hate each other at the end of it. It's like, hey, we have really big disagreements on this. I'll talk to you tomorrow about it. Stay in touch. Talk about other things except for that topic. It's just this, again, this social credit score of like, oh, if you're wrong, then that discredits everything else that you've said. No. What would discredit you is that if you lied knowing you're wrong and still trying to convince people that you're right, that's going to lower your social credit score down the road.
Right. It's a sad situation, but that's where we're at.
I'm just glad, Clint, that I have not seen Copperhead Man on OnlyFans selling pictures of his dirty toe. I'm just really happy that I haven't seen that. And I promise you, I swear to you, man, you'll never see me on Clapper twerking.
Well, that sucks. What if I wanted to see you on Clapper twerking?
That's for my fans, Lee. It's like OnlyFans, but worse. Oh, get your bag, get your money. If they watch this, I think some of them are still subscribed. Get your bag.
I promise that if I ever did that, I will make sure that I'm wearing a mask so as not to traumatize people.
I'd wear a mask. I'd cover my arms, my stomach, my legs, pretty much everything. I wouldn't be there. I would just hire someone, a body double.
It's Justin. I have it like green screen, like a CGI your face on them, so like use AI.
Oh, why does he have a tiger's tail on the front of his body? That's not a tiger's tail. One of those guys. Only some street cred. Justin can start people up like they're lawnmowers with his private parts. Start that rumor.
What? Oh, man.
Oh, we're idiots, dude. But smart idiots.
I would love to have a show where it was like you and I, and we had topics that we wanted to hit, but then we just talk. There's a ton of shows online that are like that.
Yeah.
Just again, what I always bitch about is the logistics about stuff, because like even now, if I get hired on anywhere, that's going to get in the way. The distance gets in the way. The time difference gets in the way.
Well, we'll make it work.
Yeah,
I know these. Yeah. I like to think of these as like practice shows, just getting us normal, like comfortable with the idea, finding the flow of everything. Definitely finding something other than Discord to stream from and to capture all this stuff. Because it's all right for the time being, but if we want to make a quality show, I think it needs to be a little bit different, a little
Yeah.
Something that picks up the resolutions better. But like for now, I think this is fine. I think down the road, the further we go, making more shows, I think it'll be something. I really do.
Yeah, like maybe, when we're in our 40s and 50s, we'll have a studio somewhere and we can go there and shoot episodes.
In the woods.
Yeah,
Copperheads in the
we,
woods.
we won't be Copperheads anymore. We'll be Silver Fox.
Silver
Fox Radio.
No, I'd be mange-ridden, parvo-stricken otter with a bad foot. That's where I see myself when I'm 50.
There you go.
Let me tell you about these chips they're putting in our kids' temples. I think that's wrong. Then I die first episode. We worked all of our lives for this moment this big. I'll just get Thanos snapped. No, I think we should do that.
It's just an hour and a half of us slumped over our microphones.
Really. Hi. Did you take your Lipitor? Did you take your Lipitor? My ventricles are clogging up. Oh, my main vein is now the heart one that they put in with the stent. That's what I call my main vein. Let me shoot up some adrenaline. All right, that'll beat for 2 more minutes. So let's get into politics. Bitcoin it's not worth anything anymore. What happened?
We shouldn't have come out here to the woods. It takes an hour and a half to get an ambulance.
We could have just fucking moved in together like we talked about. We could have moved on the same neighborhood. This is bullshit. There's pythons out here.
I gave you everything I had. I did.
I did. Oh, shit. I'm going to throw up. Okay, I'm fine. I'm good.
Don't die on this one.
I might die. Wouldn't that be something if I just died right now? Be like 5 hours.
Texas in time.
Be like an extra 5 hours on the show. You calling the police? Like, I don't know where he fucking lives, but just come to this Discord.
All I see is his green screen. I saw him fall backwards, and all I see is this.
His dumbass fell on some scissors. That was dangerous, and I shouldn't have done it. I didn't cut myself, but that was dumb. Children, don't do that. Hopefully no kids are watching this.
It's going to wind up on YouTube Kids.
Why is that man putting scissors to his throat? That looks fun. I want to try it. Mom! It's going to be awful. But yes, next show, we should find topics, write them down, and then let's do 4. We'll do 5 each, and then we'll pick which ones we want to pop in there.
Do that.
All right. Well, yeah, it's almost been an hour and a half. I think that's a good stopping point.
Yeah.
I think we got a good one. Something I'm going to listen back to at work tomorrow. 5 days of 12-hour shifts. Woo!
Yay.
I
don't miss that.
I never miss it. My favorite part of the day is leaving.
Exactly.
My favorite part. Every time I hit that little badge thing, I go, Queen, and then I just run to my car.
Well, I mean, you're either doing something that gives you the money so you can do stuff you want to do, or you're doing something you love. As long as you're doing one of those things, in my book, you're winning.
And I'm not doing either.
Well, just slump over now.
All right, that's it. I'm dead. All right, well, we need to make a logo for Copperhead Radio. I have my Don't Panic logo up. You got to make some. You got get a copperhead with like really curly red hair and little like white spots like to be freckles. And then the speech bubble is like, Mom, go grab my Deathetin. My ass is chafed. Get some Deathetin. That'd be wonderful. We'll figure out a logo.
I can try to mock something up. I still got Canva.
Okay. Have a Kick Me sign on them. Kick Ginger Day. Wear Kick Ginger bling on it. No. All right, well, this has been Copperhead Radio. I'm Justin, and
I'm Clint.
yeah, you're supposed to say your name. I don't want to say your name. You got to say your name. I like hearing your voice. Can you say I'm
People
proud of you?
mistake it for Clit, so I get in trouble.
What did you say?
People mistake, they mishear it, and they think I say Clit sometimes.
Oh, you're an idiot.
And these rednecks, they start laughing, and like it's like you probably can't even find your wife. So
you can't find me. You can't find your wives. Fuck you, Greg. But no, with your voice though, say that you're proud of me.
I'm very proud of you.
Yay! My depression cured. All right, I'm proud of you too, man. All right, see you guys later. Peace. And that is